Hello, everyone. It's Matthew here at Wizard World New Orleans Comic Con, and I am dressed as John Constantine for our all cosplay edition of the Saturday show. I can't wait to see what Chris and Scott are dressed as. Oh, hey. God damn it, you guys. All right, well, I guess you...
So what are you, dressed as Castiel?
What are you dressed as? You know what? It's funny you say that because only preteen girls mistake me for Castiel.
Yo, Supernatural, super great. I don't even care.
So apparently you guys dressed as a lazy piece of shit and another lazy piece of shit. Like, you guys, seriously? Come on.
We're original.
Yeah, screw it.
I hate you guys. So, I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Scott.
And I'm the only one that dressed up.
But you're the only one that cares.
I got a lighter. I can light stuff.
No, don't. Stop that.
I got cigarettes. I can puff Peru.
Stop that. Put that away. You can't do that inside.
I can't? All right.
Yeah,
well,
I think so, Bob.
So we're here for our, what is it, third year? Fourth year? It's the fourth year of the show. It's our third year being press. We're here at Wizard World New Orleans Comic Con.
Yep.
Day 2.
Yep.
Day 1 under our belts.
Yep.
My belt. You were lazy.
I was sick.
You were super sick.
Yeah.
So what is something that you guys are looking forward to see?
Artist Alley, as usual.
If you think I'm even going to be here, you're out of your mind. I am now officially announcing my name to the World Arm Wrestling Championships. You nerds can suck it. I'm out of here.
Wait, what are you talking about?
World Arm Wrestling Championships happening 3 halls down. I'm entering my name as Freakzilla Chris Robinson.
So, but didn't she get a ticket?
No.
To the gun show?
Oh!
I am done with this.
All right, well, get out of here.
All right,
let us know how you do.
Later, nerds.
So, Scott, now that Chris is off to be humiliated in a grandiose fashion.
He's always humiliated.
I know, right? So, but are there any celebrities that you're looking forward to seeing?
Honestly, I have no idea who's here.
That's what I like about you, Scott.
Busy all the time.
You are always come prepared. All right, now last year you did a fantastic Doctor Who segment. What do you have in store for us this week?
Surprised. Be surprised. Be surprised.
Damn it.
Not
all right,
saying it.
fine.
Not saying it.
What's that? I'm sorry. We have someone in the background distracting me. Boop. Boop. All right. This has gone on too far. I'm Matthew.
I'm Scott.
And we are about to go inside and do a lot of random things and talk to people and get pictures and stuff like professionals. But you know the secret. We're not professional at all. What brought you both into the world of burlesque? Everyone has their own little story. Can you just give us a quick little recap of what got you interested in doing this to begin with?
Remy. Actually, we met at a coffee shop down the street from this secret lair place that no one knows where we are. And she was like, "So you want to do burlesque?" And I was like, "Yep." And she was like, "Okay, come to these shows and be a kitten." And then eventually she cast me in her Nightmare Before Christmas show, and it was great. Yep.
The story would have been much better if I had a cigarette. I'd be like, "You're gonna be a star."
Yeah.
The way that I got into it was I started out as a singer. I started singing with different burlesque troupes just because I wanted to sing more. But then the more I watched shows and kept going to shows, I'm like, I think I can try this. I'm not a trained dancer, so I'm scared to try this. But I just got up and did it one day and was hooked. And I've been doing it for, oh my God, it's 2015. I've been doing this for 4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My first dance was 4 years ago.
Yeah, I guess it has been that long.
It's 2015.
That's craziness.
Everyone.
We are growing older. So, I mean, is there any just last words you'd like to let people know? Anything about burlesque in general, or the Harry Potter show in general, or just anything? Because a lot of people still have misconceptions about burlesque, that it's just stripping or any of those.
Well, it is.
I mean,
There's stripping in there, yeah.
But. And then you also had, to end it, you had a funny anecdote about someone calling you out on your nerdiness.
Oh, yeah. So I don't even remember what, it was on some Instagram thing. Someone was like, "She's too pretty to be a real nerd." And I was just like, what could that possibly mean? I literally write nerdy parody shows for a living at this point and create nerdy burlesque acts as my livelihood. I have
Clearly a fake nerd girl.
I've spent 20 hours gluing rhinestones to my Vader outfit while just watching the Harry Potter movies over and over again to try to pick up on a British accent that I don't know if I'll ever get quite down. But yeah, I feel like we're all extremely dedicated to these shows. All of us put hours and hours of work into these nerd-themed shows and these fandoms that we love so much. So to be called a fake nerd is just absurd at this point. Like,
Well, yeah, like even when you wrote the Batman show, you were sticking references in there that I think even like the diehard Batman fans are like, I forgot about that. This is awesome. And so it is silly, and it angers me when it's like, show us your nerd card, prove to us that you really do like this stuff, and it's like, this isn't,
No, clearly you're just doing that for the boys.
I am.
yeah, we're just doing it for the attention or whatever. But
I know exactly how you feel. I mean, people
All
are just
the time.
surprised. They're like, "You are clearly not a
That's so
nerd."
cute.
Thank you. I just like no one ever believes me, and then I have to show them my room and my house and anything I've ever done in my life, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
at this point, I've stopped caring about defending the nerd title or whatever. I'm just like, look,
Yep.
I'm gonna go and do what I like and like what I like, and if you have a problem with it, you can go somewhere else.
Well, what I wanted to ask is, you've been here multiple years with Wizard World and New Orleans Comic Con. We've seen you, but you've always been like the big Walking Dead person.
That's right.
This is your first year coming here with Guardians of the Galaxy under your belt. How
Right.
does it feel to go from one majorly popular nerd culture thing to another one?
How does it feel?
Yeah, like it's kind of crazy. Now
you
you
know
have
what?
like multiple under your belt.
But the fan base are both.
Oh yeah.
They come up here and they're debating with themselves
Which print to get?
which one to get. Sometimes they get both. Sometimes they get one or the other because they already have one of the other ones. So
Right, the cross section of Walking Dead and
So
Guardians
the fans of The Walking Dead are also fans of Guardians and vice versa. Yep.
And you were like one of the mystery characters. No one really knew what you were going to be in the movie. You didn't
That's
pop
right,
up in any of the trailers,
That's
and then
right.
you came out and you were the awesome.
That was all intentionally done, and I'm glad of it.
How much fun did you have with that?
Oh, dude, I mean, look at it. Come on.
It came out so
And
well.
my weapon of choice is so awesome.
Right? Like, no one would have thought a whistling arrow would ever be
I
badass,
want
and yet
one
here
of those
we are.
whistling arrows.
Well, why don't you
I
get
want
one?
one.
Call out to him right now. Have someone make it for you.
I tell
That's
ya.
what the internet is for.
There must be some way to digitally
It's like 3D printed.
sink my whistle into the brain of the arrow so that when I whistle, it knows to.
I can't see why they can't do it. You just
Go
have to be
through your
properly
body, right?
motivated. So I know we're not even going to ask about future projects, so I know those are all hush hush. But I just wonder, like, if you could look back, like, what are some of your favorite roles that you've done?
Oh well, I mean, you just mentioned two of them.
Two of them,
so.
yeah. So all of them? Is that
No,
the answer?
all of it, yeah.
All
I
of
got,
those are-
well, I got to have Days of Thunder is one of my favorites, and Cliffhanger was great. And
I was a
JFK
kid when I
dude,
saw. Oh, JFK
what can I
was.
say, JFK?
I forgot you were even in that.
Yeah, we did that down here as well.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for even taking the time. I know you've got a lot of fans. We were very patient because before press, I'm a fan first too.
Right
So
on.
I know like how crappy it is to have to wait while someone talks to you. So we're like, thank you
You
so
know, for
much.
someone doing an interview, he's really very talkative. Don't you think? I should be interviewing you.
I agree. Go.
So what?
Okay.
So tell me, how long you been doing this kind of interviewing stuff?
About 3 years. This is our third
3
Wizard
years?
World. Yeah.
You're not really that good at it yet.
I'm not.
But it takes
No.
quite a long time, right?
It does.
does?
It's a working process. always.
Working. It's always a working process, my friend.
You've set the bar now.
You know what? It's about the journey. It's not about getting there. So one of these days you'll get there. He'll get there, folks. Be patient. And this is Michael Rooker signing off at the Rooker table at Wizard World New Orleans Comic Con. Come on down.
Stuff. What's your newest print that you have here?
My these are my two newest prints.
So we got
Captain Goudat
and Groot.
and these, my DC pinup girls.
I remember you did those.
Came
Yeah.
up with this before T Fury even hit
Yeah.
the market with it.
We did it first. This was our idea first.
Do you have a date on it to prove that? I didn't think so.
Your mama?
Actually, there's a date if you go look at my Etsy listing.
Oh, well then, there you go. Looks like you have a lawsuit.
There you go. Well, no, this is all over the place now. Everybody's doing it. There's a guy
Yeah.
over there that has Han and Chewie, Rocket and Groot.
Well, all
We
right
thought
then.
of it first, though.
It happens. So, what are you working on now? What do you want people to know about before they inevitably walk away?
I'm working on Sentry now. That the comic that I let you read.
Yeah.
That's going to be.
I thought you had given up on it because I hadn't heard anything about it.
No, I've got 4 issues of it written.
Nice.
I'll send them to you. You can check them out. But
Now, enough about you. Go to themegacrusher.com.
yeah, the Mega Crusher. That's good stuff.
Themegacrusher.com.
Yeah.
Why?
It's
Just don't not even tell us. Okay, just go. Okay.
It's fun. Did you put it up?
No, not yet.
Oh, all
but
right.
they should go there and
Go there and just see the blank space.
see the blank space. It's just
Use your imagination.
Yes, themegacrusher.com.
So what are you going to draw us today? You always draw us a little funny, little some.
It'll be something well
I know what you
deserved.
can do. I know what you can do. You can draw him, and the caption can say, "I'm finally winning at life."
Maybe. No, I got to go hardcore on this one.
Yeah, he has to get me back for all the burns I gave him.
He's got it coming. He's got it coming. Yeah.
Actually, Monty's white. I just burned him so bad in this interview.
You burned him so bad, he turned hot like a white hot Nova.
Yes.
Exactly. So, I don't know. You guys are always one of the best interviews. Is there anything you want to lend, into with people, let them know about?
Just check out Century. Look it up on Facebook. Spell with a 5. 5ENTRY. Put spaces between all that.
Yeah, you know it's going to be a piece of shit. He spelled it with a 5.
With a 5. But there's a reason for it.
Are there 5 people to the team?
No, they're not. There are only four people on the team. But there's a reason why the name's spelled that way that plays out in the story. So.
Wow, fancy. Nothing says Comic-Con quite like Gambit and Rogue. I mean, the two most southern X-Men. And then if you look in the corner right there, oh my God, is that our logo? That's our logo. We have hit the prime time. We have an exclusive art print, and it looks badass. How did you, when did you come up with the design for this? Because this was really your little baby here.
Oh, well, Gambit's one of my favorite X-Men character. Like everybody else, loved it. And it's always like a drama when you put them together. If you follow the Gambit Rogue kind of love affair. Right. So that also brings the interest of people. So and of course they're from basically in New Orleans. So the concept and the both characters is perfect to do. Put them in one print, and let everybody enjoy it. So I'm gonna show you the original, so that they have an idea. See, here's the original ink that I did. I penciled it and then ink it myself, and then I sent it to my colorist, and he did really a good job. And I told him that this is for New Orleans, and specifically NOLAnerdcast is gonna benefit with that kind of piece.
So anybody that is a fan, if either follows us on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, can come to Mr. Errol, get a free copy signed of that print, follow him on Facebook, follow his work. He always does good stuff. And speaking of, he's going to do a quick sketch, I believe, of Spider-Man live while we conduct this interview, because that's just the kind of man he is. So start working your magic. And then I'll just ask questions and you can just talk while you draw, because what's up?
Give me a second, I'll put out my pencil. Grab somebody's pencil, but
It's fine. All right. 1, 2, 3, go. All right. So, how are you enjoying the Comic-Con so far this year?
Well, I've been enjoying New Orleans for the past, I guess, 5 years. Yep. And like I always saying that New Orleans Comic-Con has been growing, and then being sold out for 3 days is another thing. And you can tell that everybody was supporting more every now and then, and every year.
Yeah, that's what I love, is that it's gotten bigger each year, and you've been there since the beginning. You've kind of been there with us. That's why you're one of the few people we've interviewed every year. That's why we love it every time you come down, because you're always so nice to us.
Yeah, exactly. And I love seeing you guys and saying hi, and I love doing this interview. And now we're doing you letting me do the sketch, like quick sketch like this to show everybody.
Yeah, I love it. You've done it before, and it's you're the only one that we do this with, because it just shows people how quick you can knock out something that most people couldn't do, no matter how much time they were given, because that's just what we call talent.
Well, I think it's just an instinct, especially when you have so much people in front of you and asking for commissions and sketch like that. So That's why I practice. Try to make it like quick as possible, but at the same time, it looked nice.
And besides the print that you made for us, you also are debuting a couple other things. Like I saw that Kratos versus Wolverine art that you've got going on. That's a really cool one.
Yeah, I get a lot of requests. Like people were saying, like, have you done any like gaming, characters in the past? And I said, no, I had quite a few, and I got a few requests. And actually, that piece was commissioned by somebody, and I was really fortunate to, for letting me use this as a print so that everybody can enjoy. And yeah, and I brought it here in New Orleans.
Is this like number 4 for me?
It is.
Is that a
3
record?
Here, 1 San Diego. You are tied for the record.
Who's the record?
There is another artist here, Sarah Richard. She does IDW comics for My Little Pony. We also have seen her 3 times here and 1 time at San Diego.
Is she here today?
She is.
You're not going to interview her though, right?
No.
Ah,
No, we have to put you in the lead.
you got to give me the title.
Then
Do I get
Rob Guillory is the king of NOLAnerdcast.
Am I going to get a belt or something?
I'm going to make you a special little plaque.
Make me a little aluminum foil belt that I can just put on my shoulder anytime you interview me.
I like that. I think that's a great idea. How have you been in like the 6 months since I've last seen you?
I've been good. New baby. That happened. Actually, that happened like a month before San Diego. So ever since then, my life's been in shambles. And I've just been rebuilding it slowly.
And yet it hasn't affected your ability to knock out some shoe work.
Yeah. Well, the year was nuts. The entire year was me working up to her due date to try to get everything done ahead of it. And then it's been building to getting everything done in the meantime, in the aftermath of it. It's been really hardcore.
Well, something that happened since the last time I interviewed you is I heard through the grapevine that you might be doing a Marvel book.
Yeah.
A annual of sorts.
Yeah. I'm doing a 10-page short for Thor, the Thor annual. CM Punk, again, back to wrestling. He's doing the writing. It's really ridiculous.
That's what I mean. When first they announced him as the writer, I was like, oh, that'll be fun to pick up. And then I hear you're doing art for it, and now it's a must-buy.
Well, me and Punk kind of became buddies because we were like mutual fans of each other's work. Like, I was a wrestling fan from way back, and I liked him. And then I found out he was a Chew fan. And it's like, hey,
that's awesome.
Let's be friends. So like he was in town in Lafayette, my hometown, and for Raw, like 3 years ago. And I'd sent him some books, and we've been BFFs ever since.
I like how no matter when I see you, you've got your signature hat on. It's your look.
Okay. But this is actually a trick, because they know me with the hat. So if I take it off, they have no idea who I am.
That's how you go incognito on the floor?
Exactly.
Well, as always, man, it's just phenomenal to talk to you, and you're always so nice to take the time to do it.
You don't have any weird questions for me, like pies versus sharks or dolphins?
You know what? That's a good question. So pie versus cake and sharks versus dolphins. And then the other year we asked you your favorite Ninja Turtle. Okay.
See, I just reversed this entire interview.
You did. Now I'm on the spot.
I turned the tables and I asked you. What is your question?
All right. Favorite Ghostbuster?
See, I was never a Ghostbuster guy. But I met Ernie Hudson about 2 years ago.
Yeah, he was here, wasn't he?
Here. And he was super slick. Like, he was like the coolest guy ever, so it's got to be that guy.
Oh, see, I know I can come up with a better question than this. I think what I might have to do is think of one, and then when we do our interviews tomorrow, I'm just going to come for a quick soundbite and ask you that question. Like, Rob, and then we can just splice it into this.
All right.
Make it seem totally natural. So when you're watching this video and it goes from me not knowing what I'm talking about to a question, now you know the magic behind it.
But you got to bookend it. You got to like do it to where it's this interview, and then you sub in the quick question, and I'm wearing different clothes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then you come back to this.
Okay, that's a great... This man's got ideas.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Have you ever seen Black Dynamite?
I have.
See, this is the Black Dynamite approach. This is how
it.
you do it.
I love that movie. It's so ridiculous. So we've got our nice question for you that we have after every show.
All right, I'm ready.
It was cake versus pie. It was shark versus dolphin. All right, pirate versus ninja.
Oh, man, I feel like Has that been made into a movie yet? I feel like that's a thing.
I think it would be.
Yeah.
For a while, it was like a big thing on the internet, Pirates versus Ninjas. So I
right.
figured I'd bring it back, get
All
a
right.
definitive answer.
I think it depends on the setting, because I think I think pirates, if it's on water, I think pirates probably have the advantage. But if it's like, on land, I think it's the ninja.
Who do you take?
Who do I take in the end?
Yes.
Man. Probably have to go with the ninja.
That's what I'm saying, right?
I mean, they're stealthy. They have both eyes, no eye patch. Generally speaking. No hook hands, none of that, no peg legs. I probably gotta go with the ninja on that one.
Did you see that? It came out of nowhere. All right. Thank you. Again, you have a great time.
All right, we'll see
Make
you
your money.
next year or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
All right.
Thank you. I'm Matthew, Rob Guillory, NOLA Nerdcast, Wizard World, all that fun stuff. Check us out. And check out Chew. If you haven't already, shame on you. And what can you tell us about Punks?
Punks has the aesthetic of like the old punk rock flyers, and all the art's actually done paste up. So I have an old photocopier, X-Acto blade, Scotch tape, and I'm kind of laying everything down on the paper, scanning that in. So it's really hard to describe what it is. We get compared a lot to the young ones, the old BBC series. But I sort of tell people it's a comedy done in the style of punk rock flyers that has like a Looney Tunes influence.
Yeah.
So
That's
really
actually
the closest I can get.
That's actually a good breakdown of it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is it's a very funny book, and a lot of it is due to the visuals. But do you ever team up with Joshua, or can I call him Josh? Have we hit that
you
level
call him
yet?
Josh, yeah,
All right, Josh, we're cool now. Do you and Josh sit down together and collaborate, or is it more he gives you the scripts and then you kind of just work with it, or do you have some leeway?
We typically get on chat, like the Google chat or something like that, or text message, and we bounce ideas back and forth usually. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this, or here's a cool stunt we can try. And then he'll go off and write the script, full script, send it to me, I do the art. I'll sort of add my own influence or do things, or he'll call for certain things that I can't do because it's photographs, I'm not drawing it. So if he calls for a prop I don't have, I sort of improvise with something a little different that still matches the tone of what he wanted. Send it back, and he does like a polish, and that's what comes out. It's a fantastic collaboration.
I love it, and several issues are already out now. And I mean, how does it feel to go from doing your own creator-owned book like Sweets, where you did everything, to being part of an Image Comics book and one that's been well received? It's I'm just so happy that you're still speaking to the little guy now that you're such a big fish.
Well, Sweets is also an Image comic. But Punks goes all the way back to 2004, I believe, when I first met Josh.
Really?
I met him at, I think, the Long Beach Comic Con, what's it called? Wizard Los Angeles in Long Beach, I think is what it was. And so I walked up to his table, saw some of his stuff, it was hysterical. And I sort of told him about this punk rock aesthetic I wanted to try in a comic. And he actually had a story in mind about a band at the time. And you'll see in the first issue there some remnants of Fist playing a guitar and things like that in the old first issue. And so, we go way back to first issue came out in 2007. We did a second issue, and finally bringing it back. So we go way back on.
Wow, I had no idea. That's really cool. This is great because instead of only seeing you once a year, it's only been 6 months since I ran into you at San Diego.
That's true.
Which you are now tied for all-time record of being my most interviewed person, along with Chew artist Rob Guillory.
Yeah.
He works for Image Comics,
Nice.
but he's local.
Yeah.
So he goes all these shows, but then he's also at the Image booth.
Sweet.
So he asked me, am I your number one person? I had to mention you. I was like, you're tied.
Yeah.
And then he said,
There can be only one.
he said, don't interview her today. And I was like, I promise I won't. Wink.
Yeah.
We're not interviewing you today. This
Not
was
at all.
actually
This
filmed
is a
in 2014.
conversation.
Yeah, it's not an interview.
Somebody
I just have a
filming
mic.
it. Yeah,
it's
like you do.
just a casual conversation.
Fine.
So since we last talked to you, your My Little Pony stuff has blown up at IDW. You're doing covers. Didn't you do an interior?
Yeah. In issue 25, which I might not have any more of.
Oh, but it was there.
Yeah.
25.
It's the Western one. There's a little 3-page story. It's my first kind of pony interior.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to do.
So besides your work with IDW, you have a passion project that you work online, and you always are posting updates on it. What can you tell us about that?
It's called Hautepopc. It's HAUTEPOPC.com. It's a Tumblr page. It's pretty much just a blog of fashion designs. I really like fashion illustration, and I like cosplay, and I like, trying to put a spin on costumes. to make them sort of high fashion-y.
Yes,
So,
you do a really good job because
thank you.
can always tell very readily like what it's supposed to be modeled after.
Thanks.
But you also like sell the original art for it, don't you?
Yeah, they're all done in watercolor or acrylic, like everything I do. So yeah, there's always an.
What I love about you is that your style is so recognizable and unique, especially when you throw the glitter on.
Oh yeah,
Because why not?
Yeah, glitter pens are fun.
Last year you called out CM Punk.
Yeah.
And now that he's quit WWE and wants to become a fighter, do you think this is something that's going to happen?
I think the fans can make it happen. I mean, definitely pressure's on him right now. Even though he says he don't know me, he definitely knows me. I've done shows with him. We've talked about the fight. He stepped into the UFC, one of the biggest organizations of all time. I don't think there's anyone better to fight him except me because we're, in the same boat as far as, celebrity-ish,
Right.
And it'd be a big ticket sale and, we weigh the same.
The Venn diagram of fans that would love to see Jason David
Yeah.
Frank fight and the CM Punk fight, it's very large.
Yeah.
I think it would be I can't picture how it wouldn't happen eventually.
Yeah, I'm hoping it does.
So what, like, in the past year, like, what have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been filming the reality show, My Morphin Life. So we sold that to Con TV. Season 2 is coming out in February. Filmed 10 episodes, season 1, 12 episodes, season 2. Filmed the Green Ranger beatdown versus Ryu, so that's coming out. I got a few pickup shots next Friday. I'm going to Los Angeles and finish that. And then we did a new project called Taze Cadden, Operation Black Unicorn, which is a special ops movie that I've filmed last year too. And with 30, 40 other shows. So
you basically are not resting on your laurels. You're just kind of killing
yeah.
it. Now, I noticed that you're doing a commission right now. It's Spider-Man. Is there any character that you like let's say villain or a side character that's not Spider-Man that you particularly enjoy drawing? Like if someone was to come and get a commission, who would be a character you'd really love for them to ask for?
Well, I'm attached to most Marvel comic characters. I like Spider-Man villains because I think they're the coolest. And the Sinister Six, the original ones, are always, they have this retro thing that it's lovable about them. So nobody asked me ever for a Vulture, so that might be a cool one, yeah.
I think you could pull a good Vulture out there, like classic Vulture,
Yeah,
not like the
classic
old decrepit Vulture.
Right.
Though to be fair, he was always old. But.
So, yeah. But that might be a good one, yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, I love that you are here and you had a great selection of art here from X-Men to Spider-Man. I mean, is there anything that you just have been working on that hasn't been Spider-Man related lately?
Lately? Well, no, not really. As I told you, Spider-Man it's a job that takes all your time.
Very good.
And you gotta be really consistent with it. And Spider-Man is a jealous book, so you can't leave it aside. You can be unaware of it. So it's really hard to work on a book like Spider-Man. I'm not complaining. I'm saying it because it's fun and I love doing it.
And that's what matters. If you have to work that hard on a book, it's good that you love it because otherwise, it's just not going to work out.
And unfortunately, it doesn't leave me any free time to do anything else. And I'm saying this because
you actually are fortunate.
Yes. So I can't complain really.
Tell me about 2 tin cans fucking.
2 tin bean cans fucking.
Oh, my bad.
You gotta add the bean cans. Basically, bean cans came about me and the co-creator Jacqueline. We were watching TV one day. It's just the stupidest shit on the TV. And she looks at me, she goes, "This is so fucking stupid. I would rather watch 2 tin bean cans fucking." And it was like a TV commercial. We locked eyes and had a moment, and then we just started busting out laughing. It was like a car commercial. And then after that, we had a convention in Louisville, which was absolutely fucking horrible. But the entire drive there, which was like a 12-hour drive from where we are.
Breaking news, Johnny will not be re-invited to the Louisville show.
I wouldn't go. Yeah, it was just this one group of people putting on the show. I wouldn't go if they paid me to go. But never mind. But anyway, so it was like a 12-hour drive there, 12-hour drive back, and this the whole time we were just spewing back and forth the stupidest shit we could think of. And I did the layouts for it, it was originally supposed to be just one issue. Well, it's going to be one huge issue, but you're like, okay, well, you know what? We're going to take this first one, break it up into 2 issues, so it'd be cheaper to print, be easier to get out. And then eventually I was like, you know what? We're not going to stop the story here. We're just going to keep going with this, whole bag of nuts and just see where it goes. And it ended up being a 4-issue series, which all 4 issues we got kickstarted. And everyone who's got it said they loved it. The only one person got offended by it, surprisingly.
So you basically did not do your job well enough.
That's what I'm saying. But he was from Portland anyway. So.
Okay, that's fair. Now, you also do like a lot of pop culture, video game, anime, comic book stuff. When do you decide like what you're going to draw next?
Honestly, I draw what I like. People are always like, oh man, this is awesome. This is awesome. I'm like, well, we like the same shit. I always tell people, even if I wasn't able to sell this, if I never do these conventions, I would still be drawing the same shit.
Fun,
yeah.
See, because I remember you have your Mega Man ones, and we were talking how you need to get up on a Mighty Number 9 one, because, the tides have turned. You got to do a Mighty Number 9 print.
I need to. I just don't know if I want to do a Mighty Number 9, but I don't know if I want to do it like the Mega Man and Zero or go off and do something else. Or
I told you my idea.
Yeah, which is a good idea.
Have Mega Man and Mighty Number 9 attacking a Capcom executive. Just saying. What is it that you do? You do art, but how do you choose what you're going to do? We talked yesterday, and you said you were more of a DC girl than a Marvel girl.
Yeah.
So, walk us through your process.
Yeah, I tend to gravitate towards my favorite characters, and that really tends to be Bat Family. Love Bat Family, Batgirl, Birds of Prey, that good stuff. Talia al Ghul is my favorite character, which is
You got that awesome one of her being resurrected.
that people are really familiar with, but Deadshot is also a big favorite of mine. And I tend to gravitate towards my favorites, read the stories, get inspired, go from there.
And do you just, is it purely online for you, or is this is your first time in New Orleans Comic-Con? Have you been going to other cons?
Last year I did St. Louis Wizard Con, and earlier in the summer I did a small local con in Jackson.
So you're first time here?
Second time, actually.
Oh, really?
I was here in 2012.
Aha, we were not doing this back then. Yeah. Therefore, were we? I don't know. I don't think we were. No, we weren't. Ha! So we can pretend we did not miss you because we weren't even doing this yet.
There we go. That works.
That's how I assuage my guilt. And not only do you have a big booth, but you have so much quality, incredible art that you can't even fit it all.
We call it shizzle.
Shizzle. Okay. He's got the cool shizzle.
The brothers let me call it shizzle.
Shizzle it is.
Say I can do that on the air.
Really?
I can say that on the air, and nobody knows what it is, so they don't stop me.
Now, is there anything that you're currently working on that is...
Yes, I'm working on a 6-issue story for DC Comics that utilizes within the story Superman and Jack Kirby's New Gods. Nice. You know about the New Gods.
I'm well aware of the New Gods.
It also has New Krypton. It also has Genesis. It also has 3 new Supermen.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, is this going to be a standalone story or part of the New 52?
I don't know. I don't know how they're going to schedule it. It's a separate story. It could fit in.
Right.
I don't see. I don't know. I don't know actually how you judge it. Some of the New 52 stand alone.
Right.
They're not part of anything. And then when they try to link them up, it's like, really? I don't think that links up.
Feels kind of a little bit forced.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it really matters. I think, however they do it, they'll do it. It's just a big, fun, crazy Jack Kirby story.
And there's not enough of them. So that's awesome to hear that you're doing it.
No, I want to see more of these things.
So it's my dream to talk to you because you do Mega Man, and it's your dream to do Ninja Turtles, which you can do because of Mega Man, so it's like a dream inception going on.
It's all together here.
So wait, all right, second arc, I'm about to nerd out right now. So you did the Time Keeps Slipping arc?
Yes, yes, that's me.
That's right, I know the names of the arcs. That was Oil Man and Time Man.
That's it.
Oh,
That's it.
I am unashamed of my love of that stuff. What I love about the Archie comics, especially the Mega Man one, is because it's for kids, but if you love the source material, it's just enjoyable for all ages.
All ages is the best term to use for it because it's not it doesn't talk down to kids. It doesn't, you know, it
It's like
doesn't.
a Pixar movie.
Yeah, it's really accessible for adults, for any age. It's just a really fun comic to read, and I think Ian's actually elevated the material to be a lot more enjoyable for people who are even older. And
For someone who played all the games, and he like inserts his own storylines that make it fleshed out, it's good times.
Yeah.
But clearly, I know too much about Mega Man. Tell me more about the Ninja Turtles book, because that's with IDW, correct?
It's for IDW. So the book that I work on is the one that's kind of in tandem with the Nickelodeon show, and so which is my favorite incarnation of the Turtles to this date. I love it because it's kind of every incarnation in one cartoon show. So I mean, everything about the show I like. The character designs, the personalities. They actually act like teenagers instead of just adults. Right. Turtles that are called teenagers. Like they actually act like kind of bratty brothers sometimes, and I enjoy it. So when the book came out, I just wanted to do a cover. So I got a hold of the editor and said, hey, I just want to do a quick cover for you. And he was like, sure. And so I did one, and then about 2 days later, he's like, why don't you just draw the whole issue? So I did that, and then I've been doing it for a little bit over a year now, and it's my dream job. So
now, since it is a license, it's a licensed property and based on a TV show, do you find that you have restrictions on what you can and can't do with the characters?
I do. I get most of my edits and my notes are actually from Nickelodeon, with my editor being like more of a go-between.
Okay.
So so he'll kind of pass their notes along to me, and then I'll kind of work from there. But like I'll add little things in the background. Like there's an issue a few days ago where I drew some things in the background. He's like, we can't do that yet. You can't draw that in the background because we're actually going to do something different in the show. So I couldn't do that. I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to actually spoil.
I mean, you could. It's not like anyone watches us.
What I drew in the background, I couldn't keep there because he's like, we got to do something different. So I had to go back and change that. But it's not a big deal. I kind of had a feeling, so I kind of left it open. So we'll see.
I kind of like it. Kind of glossed over me for a second, but you helped. Going back to Mega Man, you actually helped pitch this to Capcom. So I have you to thank partially.
Very low. I think Patrick Spaz, who did the first arc in Mega Man.
I don't know. I feel like I need to hug you at
He's
some
that
point,
guy.
or maybe a high five or something. I don't know. How do you decide what your next outfit's going to be? But it stems from things you personally enjoy.
Oh, totally. Like, I have to have, either like the design or like the character. And that's basically, because if you're going to spend so much time and money on something, you have to kind of be passionate in some way. Either, I want to be this character, or this character is exactly like me. So.
And otherwise, it shows if you just don't care enough. Like, when you have a passion for it, it kind of just comes out in the costume and how you portray it.
I think it really does help you. You really want to do a really good job. I mean, I always tell people, even if you do a group, always pick a character that you would want to do on your own, because there's no guarantee the group is going to stay together at all times. So imagine they leave after an hour. Would you still wear the costume? If the answer is yes, then that is a great character.
Especially a giant event like San Diego.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're going to lose people.
It's impossible
that.
not to. Who are you today? And is this a debut for it, or is this just one of your classics?
No, actually, this is Daenerys from Game of Thrones, Mother of Dragons, which are over there at another booth. But no, this is not my first debut. I debuted it last April, but at Salt Lake Fan Experience. But I accidentally left my belt there, and it got thrown out, and it took me about 15 plus hours to make. So I was a little bit saddened by that, and I didn't really want to make it again. But then when this con came up, I thought it would be perfect time to kind of re-debut it, I guess.
Well, we're glad you did. And I'm noticing on your banner you have a Twitch channel. What can you tell us about that? Because I know on your website you are also a gamer as well as a cosplayer. So what do you stream?
Pretty much whatever I'm playing at the time. I love Blizzard, so I play Blizzard games. I was playing Diablo 3 mostly on my Twitch. I want to get back into WoW. I say I want to, and I don't want to because I know.
You'll never make another costume?
No, I would love to make a costume from WoW. Actually, that's how I found out about cosplay, was BlizzCon. So I think that'd be really cool.
No, it'd be more just because you wouldn't have any free time anymore.
No, I know. Well, I mean, WoW alone would take away my life, so I might not produce any costumes at all, but...
I escaped it, and I'm so scared to go back because I know I would never get anything done ever again.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared of.
How are you enjoying the con so far? Has people been treating you well? Have you been enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans, you guys are awesome. It's been a lot of good fun.
We're one of the only cities where people show up in costume and no one bats an eye. They're
I know. They were saying that at the panel yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. This is like nothing.
Well,
This is like Tuesday.
We're very glad you could make it. Is there anything that you want to tell your fans about where they can find you on social media or just upcoming projects or events that you know about, just so they can find you easy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's all at Kristen Huey or Kristen Huey Cosplay. If you go to my website, it's just www.kristenhuey.com, and then you can find all of my other social media and Twitch.
A lot of nice synergy right there. It keeps it nice and simple.
Yeah.
Except your Twitch,
Yeah,
which
Twitch,
has...
it's been my gamer tag for so long. So yeah.
I find it hard to break away from mine too, but when you made it so long ago...
Yeah, it's kind of it's hard.
And you were a different costume yesterday, correct?
Yes, I was Supergirl.
Do you have another new one for tomorrow as well?
I do. Ricky and I are doing Daphne and Velma. I made Daphne, so she will be
cool.
Velma.
You know, you come to these Comic-Cons, it's pretty overwhelming. There's so many people, the hours are so long, and at the end of the day, you're pretty wiped out.
Yeah.
So on this trip, to be honest, I haven't seen anything other than the inside of the convention hall and my hotel room. But in the past, I've been here, and I have always had a great time here.
That's awesome.
The food is awesome.
Oh,
here.
always.
It's known for it.
Do you find that when you did the voice for like the Arkham games, was that any different than doing the TV shows, or was it pretty much the same process for you?
The process is completely different in terms of creating the product. In the TV shows, you're acting in it's almost like a radio play. All the actors are in a studio together. You're feeding each other. Mark Hamill and I really work well off each other. They cast really wonderful actors in LA, and there are these very creative atmosphere that's created to create the shows. The games, because of the way they're built, everything has to be absolutely clean and separate. So you're alone in a soundproof booth for 8 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
Doing line after line after line after line after line after line after line. And then could you do that with a little bit of humor? And then could you do that with a little anger? You know, could you get a little more of a smile in there? How about some irony? And keeping the character alive, the Batman character, imagining the situation he's in, and then doing 8 hours a day of just your own voice. So you have to feed yourself the energy. You have to keep it alive yourself. So the process is completely different than doing the shows. The result is so great with the games, but the process is really pretty grueling, I got to tell you.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope, with Mark Hamill just being announced that he's going to be doing the live-action Flash show as the Trickster, have you thought about showing up in Arrow or Flash as a character?
Cool. It would be so cool.
Oh my God! You should. You heard it here
If there are
first.
any producers here
Do
listening
it.
out there, let's do it.
He can be any. It doesn't matter who he is. He could be security guard B. It doesn't matter.
I want to be more than security guard B.
Oh, you could be Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne would be awesome.
Thomas Wayne, and you could team up with Tim Daly. Just something. Doesn't even matter.
It'd be fun.
We close with a random question, so I've got to ask you as well. Just gut reaction. Tell without thinking. Who would win in a fight, pirates or ninjas?
Batman.
That's the best way. Now, can you close out with just anything Batman? It doesn't even matter.
I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman.
Oh. How does it feel to be part of something so iconic? Because that was before it really blew up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was the first one I worked on. So
Really?
Yeah. So for me, it was the start of it all for me. Kind of the launch into all of it. So for me, it's got a special place.
That's awesome. I mean, you've done everything from Bleach to Naruto to Persona, Mega Man. You're kind of all over the place. Is there anything in particular that you just really love when people come up and mention, or is it just you enjoy all of your fans no matter what the project was?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's really everybody. Not everybody, but anyone who comes up that says that they liked something that I've done is just. I mean, that's the reward for me. And I've said this many times before, but. You work on so many projects and voiceover, and you don't get that immediate satisfaction. If it was a play or something or a theater, then people start clapping afterwards. But you just walk away and go home. And so coming here and people saying, hey, I liked you as Artemis, or hey, I liked you as, Ichigo, that's the reward,
When they recognize you just from the name to the voice,
Yeah.
no matter what the character is, do you find there's an even split of Power Rangers fans to your various anime and voiceover fans?
You know what? It depends on where I go. Like this Comic-Con here, Jason Frank's here, so I get a pretty even, 50-50. But most of the times it's the anime and voiceover. That's kind of because I've done so much of it.
Right.
But because Jason's here, if there was other Power Rangers here, obviously, then that would change
The dynamic. a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
bit. Well, I just thank you so much for taking the time. Are you enjoying NOLA Comic-Con? Has the city been treating you well?
Oh yeah. Went gator wrestling. How many of you guys could do that, huh? How many of you can say that in New Orleans? Yeah, went gator wrestling, and which was crazy. If you've ever been near an alligator and you start hearing it hissing, that's scary right there. But then get a crash course on how to approach it from behind and jump on top of it and wrestle it down and clamp its mouth. And I felt like the crocodile hunter actually, but I guess the alligator hunter. But it was cool. It was an experience. So yeah, it's only here, man.
Hello everyone, Matthew here, Wizard World New Orleans Comic Con with the NOLAnerdcast here at the Mortuary booth. Gonna go just see what's up. Oh hey, let's interview a zombie. How are you doing today? It went about as well as I expected. Oh, here's another one. How are you today? That's some dedication. Where's the one under the truck thing? Oh. Excuse me, ma'am. How are you today? You gotta tell me, how long did this take you to make?
Oh God, 4 or 5 months, I guess, of staying up all night and crying a little. Never doing that again.
Dying a little inside?
Yes, lots of tears.
I like the dedication because you even got the red contacts in.
Thank you very much.
So, for those that don't know, shame on you, first of all, Final Fantasy 12 had one of the best characters was Fran, which is who she is. And you even made the bow, and you've got the arrow, that's...
I do, and
man.
it's a fully functional bow, actually.
All right, so if I paid you money, would you shoot my cameraman in the face with an arrow?
Probably not.
Damn it. All right, you're lucky. How much? We'll talk after. So obviously you're a big fan of 12. So do you like Final Fantasy in general, or what drew you to dedicate yourself to a costume of Fran?
Part of it for Final Fantasy 12 and Fran was the challenge, but I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan in general. I've done several other Final Fantasy costumes before. Like Final Fantasy 7 being my favorite game of all time.
Well, that's just one off of the right answer. The answer was 6. That's the one we were looking for.
Stop talking. But it's really, part of it was the challenge. The other part of it was that it was such a cool character. She's unique, especially just in the Final Fantasy games.
True.
And she's a powerful female character, which is always fun.
Did you ever think of finding someone to be your Balthier?
I've tried to talk my husband into it.
Didn't work out?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. That would be a cool couple's costume. So, and I told you yesterday, and you were a fantastic Femme Gambit as well. Do you have any other costumes in the mix?
Not at the moment. I'd only just finished Gambit 2 days ago, so I'm sort of powering down from that at the moment. But I've got a couple of costumes that I'm thinking about doing, hopefully in the future.
And this is something you do for fun, or?
Yeah, this is just my hobby. I'm an attorney.
Nice. That's the best kind. The people that have that kind of passion, they don't expect it to be a career. They just do it for the love of it. And, yours is much better than mine.
But you're Constantine. You're looking good.
Thank you. Now, are you the directors? Are you in the movie, or like what's your roles here?
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we wrote, directed, we produce, we act, we distribute, I guess we do it all, right? It's just a one-stop shop these days, you know what I mean? The way that the film business is going, I feel like you got to just kind of do it all yourself, which is fine. But when you have talented people around you, they just help the project out. So.
Are you the Cowardly Lion?
No, actually, he is.
Yeah. I'm a door guy that's trying to get a 3-for-1 sign, and so I need to follow the Oedipus path in order to get to the wizard.
So you're the wizard. Okay.
I'm also the Cowardly Lion's boss.
Correct.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I just realized that.
That's how you know you're acting.
Yeah. He used to be my boss. He
That
gave
was
me my
acting
first.
Too. That was acting as well.
Yeah, you gave me my first job when I first moved to New Orleans at Razoo. So that's how this whole thing got started. Was working on Bourbon Street and seeing all the crazy stuff that happened, and so it just kind of evolved.
So how does it feel to know that he now works? You work for him now. Like the roles reversed. How did that happen?
Wait, I do what?
He works for me.
Next question.
Clearly, you're an artist.
I am, yes.
And you have a very unique style. What can you tell us about it?
Well, I'm calling it digital impressionism. I do everything digitally, use a Wacom tablet and Photoshop, and I just kind of attack a blank canvas, kind of like someone would do with paint. So.
Now, are these commissioned, or are you just painting what you love, or how do you come up with your ideas for what you're going to do?
It's kind of half and half. Right now my commission list is about 3 months long, so I just do that, and then when I get overwhelmed, then I do what I want to do. So I go back and forth.
And also, you are clearly a fan as you come in dressed as a Team Rocket maid for, like...
Yeah, no, I love everything nerd, all of it. It's kind of what drove me when I've been an artist since I was a kid, but when I started coming to Comic-Cons, I was like, oh my gosh, everything is amazing. And so that's kind of what drove me to gear all my art towards nerdy things. So
that's actually what drove me to do this, because I love all nerdy things. So now I get to talk about it to the people.
You don't have to pick one genre. You get to do everything.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
And I get to actually just meet the people that do the awesome stuff, like this. Like you got the Commander Shepard. I mean, boom.
Nice.
So it's always good. And so, is this your first time at New Orleans Comic-Con?
Yes, this is my first time at New Orleans Comic-Con. I've done some Wizard shows before, but it's my first New Orleans one. And it's a lot of fun so far. And I love New Orleans, so it was an excuse to come to New Orleans.
And from what I've been told, you have a successful Kickstarter under your belt. Why don't you tell us a little about that?
I did a Kickstarter about 2 years ago for my game called Reincarnation. It's a point-and-click adventure game. You play as a little demon. You got to go back and get souls who escape from hell. Yeah, still working on it. Had some problems back in the day with it, with some coders flaking out, but we're back in motion and it should come out this year.
And where is it going to be? What's it going to be available on platform-wise?
It's going to be available on Steam and Android, iOS, Linux, anything really.
Really?
We're going to try to get on everything.
Are you, if it becomes a success, are you going to try and look into any console ports?
Yeah, we're currently looking into Xbox and PlayStation. So.
PlayStation, PS4. Because, I mean, adventure games are having, like, a real resurgence right now, so this is, like, the best time to come out for it. Between the Double Fine games coming out, we have, like, Broken Age, and the resurrection of Grim Fandango, and they just announced Day of the Tentacle. King's Quest is coming back, and that's what I love, because I grew up on these kind of games, so finding out that you're making one is awesome. Can you tell us anything about the game? Is it going to be, like, voice-acted, hand-drawn animation? What kind of stuff is it about?
It's going to be hand-drawn animation by me. We're getting voice actors to do all the different voices, sound effects, everything. It's going to have all the bells and whistles.
Nice. You not only are Krillin, like just you're the perfect stature, you got the bald head, but you also came prepared with some attacks. Like show us the solar flare.
Huh? Well, solar flare, you gotta do it.
And the bracelets help with that. But my personal favorite is the Destructo disc.
Are we doing Destructo disc?
Do us the Destructo disc.
You gotta do it. You gotta Destructo disc. I throw it, but there's people out there.
Throw it anyway.
Catch it, person I don't know. Catch it. Good catch. Good catch.
All right. So are you okay? Oh no! In classic Krillin form, he took one hit and dropped. Wait, but I have a sensu bean for him. Close enough.
The floor is slippery. I'm sorry.
Oh, best Krillin ever.
Inkers are an important role on any sort of comic. They're starting to be phased out now that you've got digital inks and then people wanting to ink wash their own work. The problem is that when you do that, especially with the digital inks, you lose the ability to sell an original page to a collector, which is what these shows are all about. It's about the fans and wanting to provide them with a piece that they can take home, frame up, and really appreciate, which is starting to be lost upon, some of the more big-known publishers. I won't mention any names.
Now, just so you know, what it looks like, an inked original page, he's actually working on one right now. He's got it right over there. I don't know if we can see it. We're just going to have to take my word for it. But, how long does it take to ink a page like that? That's a standard-sized page, right?
Yeah, we work off of 11 by 17. I typically do blue lines. In other words, a penciler will send me a high-res scan of their pencils, and I switch it to what is referred to as non-photo blue line, and then ink traditionally over that with brush, crow quill, things of that nature. A sequential page like that would, on average, traditionally take 12 to 13 hours. The thing with digital inks now is you can virtually cut that in half because of the stabilizers that are provided on Manga Studio and any other number of tools that I suppose make it easier for you to finish a page faster. But yes, with traditional inks like that, it would be about 12 to 13 hours.
But when you switch over, you lose the human element. And as we saw from the Matrix, if you give the machines too much power, it just all goes horribly awry. So this is why we need Jeremy here. He keeps us grounded. He keeps us human. So, wait, I don't even know where I'm going with this. You had such a unique thing, it just immediately drew our eye to it. You do video game theme, like these circles that encompass everything about a game, every area, every enemy, and you don't really think about it until you start hunting them all down. That's amazing. Tell us about that process.
Thanks so much. We did it based on mandala ideas, kind of like the Tibetan mandala meditation art focus. I like the idea that video games themselves are a meditation, something that you go into by yourself, and even like a mudra of finger motions. And then there's the full completion that started with Pokemon, just trying to do, gotta catch them all, do all 150, and then from there it's just gone from that. Metroid in particular I'm very happy with because we were able to get a full playable maze, like the entire game playable as a maze, starting from here and then just moving through it all.
That's awesome. And you have little secrets hidden in each picture. Like in your Contra one, you have the Konami code hidden a bunch of times. In your Mega Man one, you have binary code hidden in it. The Metroid one has a secret as well.
Yeah, down in the rocks, we put Justin Bailey.
Which, if you're a nerd, you'll get that reference. If you're not, just accept that it's really cool.
If you're not, then why are you listening to this?
I ask myself that all the time. To be fair, no one's actually listening to us. We just kind of throw it out into the ether and hope for it. But, how long does one of these take you to make?
The Metroid, this is the original of this one. It took 2.5, 3 months. So all summer.
Yeah, but the result is amazing. And then what I love is you don't have to buy this size. You can be really cool and buy the smaller size like this, which is mine. Suck it, everyone that wanted Metroid, Chris. Or Zelda, Link to the Past, which is the best Zelda. Suck it, Chris. And there's even smaller ones, like the Mega Man X one, got the last one of that too. So you don't actually like Mega Man, so never mind. All right. But you've got different sizes. You've got everything from Contra to Doom. You've got Star Fox. What's next for you?
Okay, so far the list was Mario World, Pokemon, Mega Man X, Zelda, Contra, Super Metroid, Star Fox, Doom, Gradius, Mario 3. Next, I'm planning on doing Ocarina of Time. I'm talking to someone for commissions on Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, so I've loved wrestling since I was a kid, and I've wanted to do maybe, like t-shirts or something fun. I've always loved, making stuff and selling stuff, doing that. And then my wife, who is not really a wrestling fan, said, has anybody ever made the underwear that looks like the trunks? And I thought to myself, no, because if they did, I would have all of it. So I got on Google and I said, pro wrestling underwear. And the only thing that came up was a bunch of forums of people saying, has anyone made pro wrestling underwear? Seems like th're leaving money on the table. And I was like, jackpot, let's do it. We started up in July, and the money that was on the table, I'm starting to put it in my pockets.
Hooray!
Yeah.
High five for
Huzzah.
entrepreneurship.
Careful. Entrepreneurship.
I like saying preneurship.
Preneur.
Exactly. So, all right, how many different designs do you have now? Like, what did you start with versus what you are now in the 6 months since you've begun?
We started mostly with, like Mega Powers, Macho Man, Ric Flair, stuff like that. Then we had a few like funny ones, like he's got the whole world in his pants, that type of stuff. But now we're kind of branching out. We're doing a lot of different colors, kind of like limited edition, special ones, things that are just for the Comic-Con. We got a little mashup, the Incredible Hulkamania, so it's kind of Incredible Hulk and Hulk Hogan together, that type of thing. So yeah, I think now we've got like 20 different kinds.
So, okay, and I've been waiting to say this the whole time. So what you're saying is you've started from the bottom, now you're here.
Right, and I don't know exactly if like here is something to be proud of. I mean, we are in New Orleans at a Comic-Con surrounded by, nerdy people, right?
Like super nerdy.
I know.
Right.
And us wrestling fans, we kind of stand out. I've kind of found that like somebody will come by the table like dressed in like the most ridiculous costume, and I'll be like, "Hey, do you like wrestling?" They're like, "No, that's so weird." And I'm like, "Okay, with your $300
here's kettle."
sword." Right, exactly.
Well, everyone, that's it. Wizard World New Orleans Comic Con 2015. It's a wrap. I don't know where everyone else is. I mean, Chris, after getting horribly humiliated by that little girl. Oh, hey, buddy. How you doing? How'd the World Wrestling, arm wrestling go?
Those guys are way stronger than I thought.
I don't know. You seem pretty confident when you were showing your guns.
I think I have to go to the hospital. It burns when I move my hand.
Does it also burn when you pee? Because I have an explanation for that.
That's fine. It's my arm that hurts.
Well, you're going to have to suck it up there, buddy, because we're not done yet.
Wait, do we get health insurance for this?
I do.
Where's mine? Ah!
All right, the diagnosis is you're a bitch.
I hate you so much. Oh my God.
So where's Scott? He's supposed to be doing his troll video, his follow-up to the Doctor Who Gives a Crap.
He said he was on pace to have it done for this year.
All right, let's go find him.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Hey.
Scott, there you are. I mean, you're supposed to have been doing your video for us. Where have you been?
Yeah, we were talking the whole time and drinking.
But our video, you're supposed to be trolling people.
I trolled y'all.
Wait, you said you were halfway done.
Did you mean your daiquiri?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you son of a bitch. So is this all you've done is talk to your man lover?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why he doesn't get a shout out.
Is that what they're calling it nowadays?
What, Johnny?
Yeah.
It's not love, it's lust.
Yes.
So is this really all you've been doing, just talking to Johnny the whole time?
Yeah.
So you've been getting your ass beat.
Once. Thank you.
Multiple times.
Look, after the first break, like I was done.
After first commercial break or your arm break?
I think it was the tibia.
What about the fibia?
No, those are in the leg. Oops. I don't know anatomy. Thank God I'm not a doctor.
Scott.
Yeah.
I need you to break away. It's all right. We got a very important question to ask you.
What?
What are you...
Stop it.
All right, I'll give you $1 to punch his arm.
That's not $1.
That's fine. So, Wizard World's coming to a close. What do you guys have to say about the show, assuming that you managed to pop in and see some stuff? What was your favorite stuff of the show this year?
Artist Alley as usual. That was it.
I need a hospital. Don't question.
Answer the question, Chris. The longer this takes, the longer it takes for you to heal.
I liked the artists. The shopping. Oh.
Especially Johnny Segura.
You're selling like
Well, why are you
Krillin.
down there. I mean, come on.
All right, well, you know what? As always, I guess I'm going to have to be the one to give the breakdown of the show. We did a lot of good interviews, saw a lot of good cosplay.
Bob called. Hold on.
Oh, Scott doesn't even care about our own show.
Can I go home?
You can when you can get Scott to say something nice.
What?
Make Scott say something nice and you can go home.
Can you say something nice so I can go home?
I love each and every one of you.
All right. You can't go home, though. All right, well, I'm Matt.
I'm Scott.
I'm Chris.
We're the NOLA Nerds, Wizard World 2015. Check out all of our stuff on the Facebooks and the tweets and the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the YouTubes and the
tweets and the twats.
and the websites. All with Z's. The twatters.
Instagram.
Yeah, the DeviantArts, the Tumblrs, the live journals, the dead journals, the Zyngas. MySpace. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
The Googles.
Just Google us.
Just Google us. Also, let go. Open up. Yep, come on. Special thanks to Errol C. for giving us our exclusive art print. No thanks to Johnny Segura for bitching out and not doing one this year. But we'll see him next year, and I bet it'll be even more awesome because he'll have a year to procrastinate and then 4 days to finish it. So, looking forward to Wizard World.
NOLAnerdcast way.
If it's not done at the last minute, it's not done right. That's our motto.
Yeah.
All right, anything you want to say to close out?
Stay classy.
I'm officially retiring from World Arm Wrestling.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next year. Follow us for all kinds of fun stuff and not so fun stuff. And, whatever kind of suits our fancy.
Pinky out.